What is psychology? Understanding human thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Have you ever wondered why two people can experience the same situation but react completely differently? For example, imagine two students receive the same exam result. One student sees it as an opportunity to improve and works harder for the next exam. The other student becomes discouraged, loses confidence, and starts believing they are not capable of succeeding. The event is exactly the same, yet their reactions are completely different. Why does this happen? Why do some people thrive under pressure while others struggle? Why do we develop habits, emotions, relationships, fears, and motivations? These are some of the questions psychology seeks to answer. Many people believe psychology is only about treating mental illness, but psychology is much broader than that. It is the scientific study of human thoughts, emotions, behavior, and mental processes. Psychology helps us understand ourselves, the people around us, and the factors that influence how we think and behave. In this video, we'll explore what psychology is, where it came from, the different areas of psychology, how it affects our daily lives, and some common myths surrounding the field. What is psychology? The word psychology comes from two Greek words. Psyche meaning mind or soul. Logos * meaning study. Together, psychology literally means the study of the mind. Today, psychology is defined as the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. Behavior refers to actions that can be observed, such as talking, studying, exercising, or interacting with others. Mental processes refer to internal experiences such as thoughts, emotions, memories, perceptions, and decision-making. Unlike personal opinions or assumptions, psychology relies on scientific methods. Psychologists use observation, experiments, surveys, interviews, and research studies to understand human behavior and mental functioning. Psychology explores questions such as: why do people procrastinate? How do children learn language? What causes stress and anxiety? Why do people form relationships? How do emotions influence decisions? Why do people behave differently in the same situation? By studying these questions scientifically, psychologists develop theories and evidence-based explanations about human behavior. A brief history of psychology. Psychology did not always exist as a separate science. For thousands of years, questions about the mind and human nature were explored by philosophers. Ancient Greek thinkers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle discussed memory, learning, emotions, and knowledge. However, psychology became a scientific discipline in 1879, when Wilhelm Wundt established the first psychology laboratory in Germany. Because of this achievement, Wundt is often called the father of psychology. His work marked the beginning of psychology as a scientific field that relied on observation and experimentation rather than philosophical debate alone. Since then, psychology has grown into one of the most diverse and influential disciplines in the world. Major perspectives in psychology. One of the fascinating aspects of psychology is that human behavior can be understood from different perspectives. Biological perspective. The biological perspective focuses on how the brain, nervous system, hormones, and genetics influence behavior. For example, researchers may study how changes in brain chemistry contribute to depression or anxiety. Behavioral perspective. Behavioral psychologists focus on observable behavior and how it is learned through experience. For example, a child may learn certain behaviors through rewards and punishments. Cognitive perspective. The cognitive perspective examines mental processes such as memory, attention, thinking, and problem-solving. When you forget where you left your keys or struggle to concentrate during an exam, cognitive psychology helps explain why. Humanistic perspective. Humanistic psychologists focus on personal growth, self-awareness, and achieving one's potential. This perspective emphasizes the positive aspects of human nature and the importance of individual experiences. Social and cultural perspective. This perspective explores how other people, social environments, and cultural influences affect behavior. For example, the way people communicate, form relationships, or express emotions can vary across cultures. Each perspective provides a different lens through which psychologists can understand behavior. Branches of psychology. Psychology is a broad field with many specialized areas. Clinical psychology. Clinical psychologists assess and help individuals experiencing mental health difficulties, such as anxiety, depression, and trauma. Counseling psychology. Counseling psychologists help people cope with life challenges, relationship issues, stress, and personal development. Educational psychology. Educational psychologists study learning processes and help improve teaching methods and educational outcomes. Organizational psychology. These psychologists focus on workplaces, helping improve employee well-being, productivity, leadership, and teamwork. Sports psychology. Sports psychologists help athletes improve performance, motivation, confidence, and focus. Forensic psychology. Forensic psychologists apply psychological knowledge within legal and criminal justice settings. These are only a few examples, demonstrating how psychology can be applied in many different areas of life. Psychology in everyday life. Many people don't realize how often psychology influences their daily experiences. When you choose to study for an exam, set a personal goal, manage stress, communicate with a friend, or make a purchase, psychological processes are involved. Psychology helps explain how habits are formed, why people procrastinate, how memories are created, why emotions influence decisions, how relationships develop, why people respond differently to stress. For example, understanding motivation can help students improve academic performance. Understanding emotional regulation can help individuals cope with difficult situations. Understanding communication patterns can improve personal and professional relationships. In this way, psychology is not something distant or abstract. It is part of everyday life. Common misconceptions about psychology. Despite its popularity, psychology is often misunderstood. Myth 1. Psychology is only about mental illness. While mental health is an important area of psychology, the field studies all aspects of human behavior, including learning, memory, motivation, personality, development, and social interactions. Myth 2. Psychologists can read minds. Psychologists cannot read minds. Instead, they use scientific methods and evidence to understand patterns of behavior and mental processes. Myth 3. Psychology is just common sense. Many psychological findings may seem obvious after we hear them, but they are often based on years of research and scientific investigation. Psychology relies on evidence, not guesswork. Why psychology matters? Psychology matters because it helps us better understand ourselves and others. It provides valuable insights into behavior, emotions, relationships, learning, motivation, and mental well-being. Whether you are a student, parent, teacher, athlete, manager, healthcare professional, or simply someone interested in human behavior, psychology offers knowledge that can improve everyday life. The more we understand how people think and behave, the better equipped we are to solve problems, communicate effectively, and support one another. Final thoughts. Psychology is the scientific study of thoughts, emotions, behavior, and mental processes. It helps us understand why people act the way they do, how we learn and develop, and how our experiences shape our lives. Far from being limited to therapy or mental illness, psychology influences education, workplaces, healthcare, sports, relationships, and many other areas of life. At Psych Digest, our goal is to make psychology simple, practical, and evidence-based. If you're interested in learning more about the human mind, subscribe and follow along. In upcoming videos, we'll explore topics such as anxiety, emotional regulation, personality theories, famous psychology experiments, memory, mental health, and much more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Psych Digest video.